Howdy, my friends. Howdy, my friends. Howdy, my friends. My friends, my friends. Morning, Keith L. Dredd. Keith L. Dredd. Larry Moore, welcome. Welcome, one Larry Moore. Okay. A little bit of a happy Monday to you, Dredd. Dredd, I always like how you include the comma, whatever. Hello, Adam Lansendorfer. Welcome, Adam Lansendorfer. That's a relatively, I think, a brand new name. Sorry if I don't recognize it. But Dredd, I appreciate your little humor / attempts at humor, Dredd. Have somewhat of an ad-lib episode this morning. Just, I think it might be a little bit quicker than normal. But it's certainly timely and certainly important. So we're going to go with it. I was just thinking. So, all right, so let's assume Adam is a first-time viewer. All right? Larry, Dredd, you're here all the time, you know, whatever. So as I was just sitting here like this, I thought to myself, okay, I'm not talking, I'm not doing anything, I look like hell, if you will. And I thought, what is Adam thinking, right? He just showed up here. If this is his first time, maybe he has no idea who I am or what I do, and he thinks, close off. So anyhow, Adam, the first couple minutes is a little bit of banter back and forth, but then I'm going to roll into today's episode, which is AM Excellence 601. And I want to throw this out there too. For some reason, my downloads have plummeted. Something to do, I'm guessing, with Facebook, because a lot of my listens come from Facebook and the awareness that the show has on Facebook. So yeah, any opportunity you have to share any of the stuff, I'm talking to my loyals right now, that would be awesome. Because for some reason, they plummeted the last couple days, and that just ain't very cool. But that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. All right, this is kind of a little bit of a tough one to do today, but we're going to do what we do. We're just going to go... no, negative, Dennis. Nope, it is just all around down. All right. All right. 1, 2. All right, I'm a little nervous. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous. 1, 2, 3. Good morning, my friends, and welcome to the Spaniard Show. This is the Spaniard, and this is AM Excellence 561, and I'll get to the point of why I messed that one up there. But today is Monday, September 29th, 2018, AMX 601, the Good Neighbor 5. But because of the recent happenings in Pittsburgh, I'm going back to my lesson plan for AMX 597, which is how I started the show. So I have a lesson prepped for today with some great points, but I thought it was really pertinent to go back a few days. It was pertinent for a variety of reasons, but I'm speaking from the heart, speaking not off the cuff, but I'm speaking without a script in front of me. So please understand that. But obviously, going on in the country is a big deal. There was a shooting in Pittsburgh, and it was at the Tree of Life Synagogue, and it just so happens that the synagogue is in Squirrel Hill, and Squirrel Hill is where Mr. Rogers used to live. So Mr. Rogers passed away in his home in Squirrel Hill. So not only is that relevant to everything that I've been talking about the last couple of days with the good neighbor, with Mr. Rogers, his message of simple goodness and purity and kindness and empathy and patience and understanding and respect for other people, but there was a segment that I talked about last week on AMX 597, and you can go back and listen to that episode in its entirety, or you can simply just listen to it here. But I had the lesson plan for today, and I decided last minute to, you know what, I'm going to just forego today's lesson plan. I'll talk about it in the What I Learned This Week and in the What I Learned This Week document. But there was a snippet from the book that was so pertinent in dealing with the relevance that happened, the shooting, also the fact that it was Mr. Rogers' real neighborhood. I thought there was a part from the book that was so stinking powerful and relevant. And I want to preface it by saying, you know, the way it seems, and I'm 37, I don't really know what it was like in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever. I don't really know because I wasn't there. But I do know the thing of, when I was a kid, it was this way or that way. Or, oh, today, can you believe this today? I can't believe how bad it is. And it was interesting to note what I'm going to talk about for a variety of reasons. One, because of how timely it is. Right? I just happened to read this the other day. It was the first time I've ever heard this said. My wife said she had heard it before, but didn't know it was attributed to Mr. Rogers and his mom. But also the fact that bad has always existed. And I think what I'm about to read here, or talk about here, reminds us to focus on the good. Because the bad will always be there, but it really is up to us to focus on the good. So back in AMX 597, I was talking about Mr. Rogers and his simple and pure idea of goodness or kindness. Right? So his message is so simple, it's easily overlooked. It was just a simple and pure message and idea of goodness and kindness, and that's what drove him. He believed in that. He believed in the human experience of interacting kindly, patiently, respectfully, understandingly with other people. And he said, quote, "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news," I have chills reading this. "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.' To this day, I remember my mother's words, and I am always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world." When I was a boy, process this. This is him speaking. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was when he was growing up. So let's say it's in the 70s, referring to when he was a boy. "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.' To this day, I remember my mother's words, and I'm always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world." So when I presented that last Tuesday, I believe it was, my question or my action point or my reflection point was, are we looking for the good? Are we looking for the helpers? Or are we just seeing the bad? Are we being helpers? I think it's a really timely, really powerful, really profound reflection point, but then action point that as you and I go on to, one, look for the good, look for the helpers, remember that there are helpers, and also carry on this simple and pure idea of kindness and goodness to other people. I'm going to wrap it up there, a little bit shorter than normal, but I'm going to wrap it up there. And this has been kind of AMX 601, but kind of a reflection of AMX 597. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with AMX 602. Thank you, Mr. Rogers, for the guidance that you've given me. The book is called The Good Neighbor, The Life and Work of Fred Rogers. It's an absolutely incredible, insightful book, and one that I believe every one of us should read. That's it, my friends. Whew. Those are the tough ones. Speaking about things that are so real and sensitive and delicate, trying to do it in an appropriate way. Speaking correctly, accurately, non-offendingly, sensitively, empathetically. It's all very difficult to do, especially live. Hello, Tricia MacArthur. Hello, Pritch. Yeah, that's it. So, a quick reminder again. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with AMX 602, studying the book The Good Neighbor by Maxwell King, but it's about Mr. Rogers. And yeah, thanks for the support, my friend. We'll be back tomorrow.